Make cringe though. Why the hell do you use them, idiot?
Only bandits creep around in the dark without a light. Where's your torch? You go away. I want nothing to do with you.
I'm looking for a fellow who lives here, but I don't know his name. Do you know anyone with a limp?
Must be that farmhand Lubosh. I don't know what the hell you'd want him for, and I don't much care. He's got a cottage on the edge of the village near the stream.
Oh, you'll see in who I'm gonna fuck in a second. Don't worry. They'll actually show up in this cutscene right afterwards. Don't worry.
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
That's what you call nothing to see. I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm
No,
investigating the
there's
attack at
something better I
Neuhof,
can do.
and
Just wait.
I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him.
Sakra. Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
At this point, I'm just gonna have to buy a new mic because I just keep on breaking it over and over with the air canisters.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. but he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I saw him with anyone.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or holed up at home.
When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now, and nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
Lord above, they did a hell of a job on him. Must have been agony. How come no one heard anything? What's this? Looks like someone's hit him very hard on the head. Could they have bludgeoned him to death and then gutted him? That would explain why he didn't scream. Judas. Looks like this is meant to be a warning. But for who? And why? Maybe the gang had a falling out. But a bandit armour? Well, it seems Lubosh wasn't your everyday crofter. And judging by the bloodstains, it looks like he lived the way he died.
Clear off. I don't want to talk to you.
Why does everybody fucking hate me?
Another thing about Lubosh. I found armour in his house, covered in blood.
God preserve us. Everyone knows he was a violent oaf, but I never thought he'd stoop to murder. At least he never did that here.
Beat it!
I've come in the name of Sahanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you, but ask if you must.
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
You could see at first glance he was no good. I kept well out of his way.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
There wasn't sight or sound of him for a long time. And then yesterday, he turned up at the church and even talked to the parish priest. I never saw him do that before. Probably had a bad conscience.
That's all. Thank you.
Oh yeah, the priest I'm about to meet is pretty much Soul. Just saying. In a way, like they're both alcoholics.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
Bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son, and one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
I've got no time for this. You might be happy to put people's lives at risk, but I refuse to, and I'll get that confession out of you by force if I have to.
Oh well. I suppose you're right. By the looks of you, that isn't an empty threat. I'm no stranger to conflict. But I admit, I wouldn't like to go up against you. Still, at least promise me it will remain between the two of us.
Trust me.
Lubosh came to me shortly after everything that happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. I must say I never expected it of him, but he turned out to be a better man than he seemed. He said some crony of theirs hired them. First they thought they were going to steal horses, but then it all got out of hand and people started dying. He and his gang didn't want any part of that. They quarreled with the others and ran off.
Quarreled? A corpse was found in the woods by Neuhof.
Well, that would explain something. Lubosh kept blabbering on that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know Lubosh killed one of the murderers, and now he's dead too. Only I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Just nicknames, but maybe that'll help. He mentioned some fellows called Riki from Ledechko, Pius and Timmy.
Nothing more?
No.
I suppose that'll have to do. I reckon I'll go and have a look around Ledechko first. Thank you, Father. And don't worry. I won't tell anyone.
Get out of here!
I'll send you straight to hell. Cut my face!
What's the matter?
Ah, nothing's the matter. I'd just like to pass the time of day with a fellow wayfarer.
I see. What do you have in mind?
We could have a little bout of combat, for the sake of practice.
All right, why not?
Excellent. I trust you have something to wager.
Aye, I have.
I'm glad to hear it. Let's get to it then. Fuck it. Oh well. Here you are. Fuck it. Oh well. Here you are.
Learn how to ride a horse, idiot!
Who was living? Lord above, they did a hell of a job on him. What's this? Judas. Looks like this is meant to be a warning. But for who? And why? Maybe the gang had a falling out. But a bandit who knows how to write isn't something you see every day. The blessings of our good... Did you know, Luke? Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhoff was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that...
Vows more important than...
There are laws of God.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances. And this is one of them.
For heaven's sake, Father, can you really look me in the eye and tell me that, when you know you may be condemning innocent people to death?
I can, because if I broke that vow, the consequence...
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhoff raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the... Suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern, over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right. Thank you, Father.
What's the hold up there?
Don't you start. Oh well, I wouldn't mind a bite to eat, actually.
Have you thought of a way?
Let's leave it for the evening. Come to...
Father, didn't I see you outside practicing swordplay? I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick. I practice with a stick. Reminder of my youth and days gone by, and it helps keep me in good form.
What the hell?
I'll bring it right away.
The best of
Jesus,
health.
look where you're going.
Damn!
God's wounds will make me jump. God! Everyone here! Quick! Help!
Hey, you! Halt! Surrender!
You've been making trouble and beating people up. We don't put up with that around here. Well, you won't forget this.
Oh well.
You pay.
Help!
Stop! No surrendering. You're finished.
Very well. Go.
I'll stop by for that cloth.
Very well.
How kind of you not to come and disturb my solitude.
Trust me, there's nowhere I'd rather have been. You wouldn't believe what happened to me.
Tell me all about it this evening, then. How kind of you not to come and disturb my sol—
Sorry.
Well, the feel—
What are you doing here? Tired of life, are you? Enough!
Kurwa!
Ah, shit! Fair enough. But try that again and you'll rue the day.
Who was...
I see you now.
The black... Did you... Do you know...
Fuck there.
Fuck.
What the hell are you doing?
The blessings of our Lord be...
And with you, lad. Take a seat. I'm sorry I can't tell you everything, but maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
One beer for me.
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless.
Pull me an ale.
We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why.
One ale over here, please.
They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujitz, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noyle? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
A tankard of ale for me.
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujitz is in Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices.
My pleasure.
And of course, describing them in detail.
A
tongue-lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive fur, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticizes the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. Oh, it's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Here.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj padł dziesnej smutek, do dnielno i rano utek, niech już małżeński majstrat, do wczera żył nesaje prak. Už sejmoj svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jich učit. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požadem si huby jako poslední den. Budeme se bavit a do rána stávit a tak vypad sudy a posaď se mi sem. Tak posaď se sem a vypad je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra jen tu soudnej den. Tak nalej mi hned a točí se svět.
Enough of this!
Bailiff, come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then.
Everyone knows the only one around here who can ride is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Go on then, fella.
You'll get
You want to fight? Well, come and get it. Don't worry, won't give you any trouble. We'll just have a bit of a punch-up.
as you like, ruffian. That's what you call that combat. All right, you win. Yo,
Well landed. Ah! Ah! Bugger this.
So, my dear, wouldn't you like to have a little ring on the bell? So sure said than done.
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dear. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Be a bit more careful.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell. Who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Wait, before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
So all at once the confessional seal isn't so sacred?
Don't mock me. I won't give you a second chance.
We'll never get away with it.
Not if you make a hash of it.
Well, all right. But I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well...
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
Hey, watch it.
show up. The swill dog.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God, any minute now he'll throw up.
So I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem. Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will puke first.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is.
That boy has a cheek.
One should not believe in the church, because the church is not God. God is above all things, and the church is but a means to salvation, which the prelates do not care to hear.
He's right.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, cumens, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame! Shame upon them!
It is the custom of the gluttonous prelates and monks to preach against sin. But what do they know of us ordinary folk? Let us remember the marriage at Cana, where our Lord Jesus Christ himself feasted with the other guests and drank his fill. And when the wine was gone, he performed a miracle and created more. He, whose companions were poor travellers, simple folk, prostitutes and troublemakers, performed a miracle so the feast could continue.
Now that's the kind of sermon I like to hear.
No, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not condemn alcohol. Drink to lighten the cross you bear in this vale of tears, but not with such abandon that you cannot keep holy the Sabbath. For there should be moderation in all things, and it is not drinking itself that is sinful, but intemperance and beastly indulgence.
He's right.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates! Away with them!
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
God sees what is happening on earth, and he is filled with righteous wrath that those who should seek the salvation of souls instead seek mammon and the idle comfort of lucrative posts. Blessed are the shepherds who share the poverty of their flock, who are as one with you and bear with you the burden of this earthly pilgrimage, who do not condemn your venial sins.
Aye, all honor to Godwin. Let him drink like one of us.
That is all I heard in Prague. Amen.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that Hus.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a
I'm
silver
glad
tongue.
he came here. I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, and he told it nicely.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now, slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you...
Well, now Lubosh came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out? Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubosh kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubosh killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko. Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Hey! You! Stop right where you are! Surrender! You're
Right
under
enough.
arrest. So it's you. You were seen starting a brawl. You should have thought twice about what you were doing. That will land you a fat fine.
Enough. What?
But I would.
Want to earn a bit of coin? Stop and talk a while. There's plenty of coin in it.
He's here!
You're dead. You'll get what for.
Kunda!
How far are you?
Is that the best you can do?
Most vegetable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Afticsába hagyj már! Elég volt! Kösz! Cough up the coin or you're dead. Persze, hogy értem. Tigga.
I hope that I can be of help to you, knight.
I'm looking for a fellow called Riki. Do you know him?
You mean Hinnick? He's the tanner's son, isn't he?
Any idea where I could find him?
I don't know. Try it as folks...
I'd like to...
So what you interested?
I'd like, a private bath for two.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied.
I'm looking for a fellow they call Riki. Do you know him?
Ah, that would be Hinnick, the tanner's son. Yeah, I know him. He comes here now and again for a chat.
Ah, I see. So Riki is his nickname?
Aye, but I wouldn't call him that to his face. He doesn't like it much.
No, I don't suppose he would.
So what about you then? You look a bit careworn. A bath with a bit of company might do you good.
Maybe later, sweetheart. Right now, I have some questions to ask.
Ask away then.
Where can I find Hinnick?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must...
Does he do that often?
From time...
What the hell does he get up to? Look, Hinnick's my friend, and I really need to know where he is and what he's doing.
But I already told you I don't...
So I suppose he just goes to the...
Mushrooms, no. More like hares or other game.
So Hinnick is a poacher? That's no surprise.
Well, he was never much of one for an honest trade.
Do you know exactly where he goes? Maybe he has some favourite spot he might have told you about?
He said he has some hideout in the woods, but he didn't tell me where.
When did you last see him?
A few days ago. He came to me late in the evening, drunk.
And that was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came to me sober.
So he was acting strangely that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He keeps prattling on and didn't seem to care about you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Oh, I'm not sure. He went on about some fellow called Lubosh who died. That he was regretting he ever got into it. But he never said what it was. And that it wasn't worth it for the money. Aye. And then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of it hidden behind his house.
I see. What did you say to that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl, and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me, and we could get married and such. All just poppycock.
Did you go there for a look?
No, I've got better things to do. Obviously he made it up. Where would a layabout like him get so much coin?
Yes, I understand. Did he tell you exact?
He said...
All right. I just...
What?
Another thing...
What?
Is it true?
What?
Other whores would...
The other bathhouse girls are...
I heard they don't like him because he keeps company with...
True enough. But they didn't like him before that either. Both of us are the...
There's nothing more...
No.
Is it true? So you only...
Both of us are the...
There's nothing more...
No.
I need to know more about that hideout.
I really don't know where it is. I only know when he came back, he usually came to see me.
I see. How did you know he'd been to the woods?
He always talked about what he caught, and he never came to me at other times. Probably didn't have the money for it.
Do you know who he sold it to?
He never told me straight up. But who could he sell it to? The innkeeper, I reckon.
For sure. Do you know what route he took? At least the general...
I think he usually went through the woodcutters.
Good.
What is it?
No, clear off. Let me...
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I want to ask about the courier's...
But ask someone else. You'd only drive my car.
Really? I heard...
Who are you, Annie?
A friend of Hinnick's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is. But if you find the bastard, tell him he still owes me some goods.
I've no time for this. I have to find Hinnick and you're going to help me.
Am I now? Even if I did know, why the hell would I help you?
This is a nice alehouse you have here. It would be a shame if anything happened to it.
Are you threatening me?
What do you think? So are you going to talk, or do I have to beat it out of you?
Fine. Let's get to the point then.
See now? Where there's a will, there's a way.
I did some deals with Vicky, but I swear to God, I don't know where he is.
I hear Hinnick has a hideout in the woods he uses for hunting game. Do you know where it is?
Not exactly. That is... I don't know where it is at all. But I happen to know it's a dark place, a cave or an old mine shaft.
How do you know that?
Whenever Riki was going poaching, he always came to me first for candles and lamp oil. He brought the game skinned and gutted, so we had to have a light for that.
How much game did he bring you?
Not much, a few pieces. There's no great demand here. Sometimes they...
And do you know...
There's a few of them around. Then there's a mine gallery to the east of the village, up in the woods. And I heard there's one shaft on the headland.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Better not going any further. I might drown. It's too deep here.
Jesus Christ. What am I to do? Not that I can expect any useful advice from you. At least, you've no more cares.
Need someone to talk to?
Fuck! Don't kill me. I can explain. I won't tell anyone. I swear, I've no one to tell anyway. Just please don't kill me.
I'm not planning to kill you.
You're not one of Runt's men?
No.
Huh. Then who are you?
I come here in the name of Sir Radzig Kabila and Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the raid on the Neuhof stud farm.
Got no idea what you're on about.
Save your breath. If you want any chance to escape the gallows, you better come clean, alright?
Jesus Christ. This will never be over.
So?
Fine then.
That Neuhof raid of yours didn't turn out quite as planned, did it?
Depends on whose plan you're talking about. We were up to it to grab some loot and bugger off. Only Runt's cutthroats was there to shed blood.
What do you mean, Runt's cutthroats?
There were two gangs there, mine and Runt's. We was only there to steal, but they wanted to slaughter everyone.
But when you realised what they had in mind, you didn't have to go along with it, did you?
But we didn't know nothing, even though we were going to Neuhof. They told us to keep watch on the courtyard while they were cutting the horses' throats. Jesus, that fucking vexed me. Their horses was the most valuable thing there. When I spoke up, though, Runt gave me such a bollocking I knew I'd better keep my mouth shut. And when they said we was going to kill anything that moved, then we knew there was no going back.
That gang of yours, what can you tell me about them?
Don't know what you want to know. There was 4 of us. Me, Timmy, Limpy Lubosh, and Pius Pava. Sometimes we'd rob a place or hold up pilgrims. Never nothing fancy.
I'm sure you did mischief enough. Who led you?
Pius. He was the oldest, and he'd mostly find the jobs for us. Plan them and the like. He got us into that fucking mess in Neuhof, too.
What about the others?
Timmy's strong as an ox, with a brain to match. You got more sense out of a fence post. And Limpy, I've been with him the longest. He's my one and only friend, I suppose.
Who got your 2 gangs together? You must have made contact somehow, right?
Pius. He comes to us and says he's got this prime job. We're gonna rob a farm, he says. That was a big deal, because mostly we just did small stuff. Hold up on the road now and then, nothing fancy. When they told us how much we could make on it, well, we just couldn't refuse.
So Pius knew them?
I suppose, but I don't know where from. We even got paid up front. I should have known from the start it was too good to be true.
Where did the rest of your gang end up?
You saw Limpy, right?
Yes, but he's no use to me now. Tell me where I can find Pius or Timmy.
I don't know nothing about Pius. He vanished in the woods, and I haven't seen him since. Timmy, I reckon, went back to the mill where he works.
Which mill?
The windmill a bit north of Neuhof.
Did you know any of Runt's people?
Not a one. They didn't talk to us at all. None of their faces was familiar either. The only thing I know is they called that huge chief of theirs Runt, and Pius warned us to watch out for him.
I don't suppose you know where they got to after the raid?
On the way to Neuhof, Timmy told me he was at their camp with Pius. I reckon that's where they've gone now.
Did Timmy tell you where the camp is?
Somewhere in the woods. He didn't say nothing more. Thing is, Timmy's got quite an imagination. But Pius roared at him to shut it, so I reckon there must be something in it.
Tell me exactly how the raid went down.
Well, we stormed in from the rear. Runt's people started... Meanwhile...
What did you find?
Smill. Then it all...
And it wasn't?
No!
What happened then?
I'm gaping at Smill, stuck through him. So we caught up with the boy at the next farmhouse. I knock him to the ground, but he bashes me with some Limpy grab. In the end, Limpy just gives him a kick and says, "Beat it, Ginger." And And then Rudd shows up at the gate and hollers that we gotta go, so we scarpered.
What happened after the raid?
We were waiting for that fool, Timmy. Same place as we met them before, so he'd know where we were, right? Stupid fucking idea. But Pius didn't want to leave him behind. Only when Timmy finally turned up.
There was some difference of opinion.
You could say that, yeah. They started on us right away that we were traitors. They knew we'd let somebody get away, and now we were going to pay for it. They started trying to surround us, and we knew what was coming. But Limpy took his bodkin and let that fucker have it in the belly.
Runt?
One of the others. Timmy broke free from them, and we all took to our heels. Luckily, they were so buggered from the raid, they didn't follow us for long. They just shouted that they'd find us.
That's all I need to know. So now what do I do with you?
Well?
Hey, over here! It's up the hill. Shh. Jake, found the cave. Shut up. He'll hear you.
Oh, shit. Runs, people. We've got to get out of here.
They're too close. We'll never outrun them.
Fuck!
At least they don't know I'm here. The two of us can take them by surprise.
No fucking way. I'm gone.
Look here. If you run, they'll catch up with you and kill you. And me too. Together, we stand a better chance.
Jesus Christ. All right. I suppose you're right.
What's that?
Huh?
Hey, who's there? What's going on? Just when I wanted to vent my rage on someone.
Fucker.
Ow.
Ow. Enough. Fair enough. But try that again and you'll rue the day.
I've got some more questions.
What?
Who is this runt?
I never saw him before.
Did you notice what his...
No.
I think I once had the doubtful honour of meeting that bastard, and he has something that... You're coming with me. So Radzik...
Don't suppose there's...
Why should I?
I didn't do nothing all that bad, and I told you everything I know.
Nothing bad? How many people were screaming at Neuhoff? Half the stables are burnt down.
I didn't kill no one, and I didn't start no fire neither.
But you had a hand in it, and you wanted to rob them. You could have warned them.
I'm no saint, but surely I don't deserve to hang for that. It was them others.
I don't give a tinker's curse. You were there, you didn't warn anyone, and you helped those murderers, even if it was only for a while. You're going to Rattay with me.
You're condemning me to death. You know that, don't you?
It's no more than you deserve.
I'm honored that you should come to me.
Do you know Timmy? He's
a complete numbskull?
I'm looking for a colossus by the name of Timmy. I heard he works here.
I don't know anyone like that.
All the others know him, so how come you don't?
All right, but not here. We'll talk round the back, behind the mill.
Here I am. So, why all the secrecy?
What do you want from Timmy?
Can you tell me where to find him?
Promise me nothing will happen to him.
Why do you care so much?
He's my brother. He's not very smart, you see, and he's always getting led astray by his no-good friends. And now there's some right peculiar characters looking for him.
Who are they?
I don't know, but they look like cutthroats, and they said some strange things, but I didn't tell them anything.
That's good. But sooner or later they'll find him anyway. Tell me where he is and I'll take care of him.
He's hiding at the Colburn farm, over by Merhoyed.
I get the feeling you're looking for someone here. I'm looking for someone too. Maybe we could help each other.
And who are you looking for?
A great big ox by the name of Timmy.
That's interesting. I'm also looking for a big ox called Timmy.
Well, what are the chances? Could it be the same fellow, I wonder? Now, if someone were to tell me where to find Timmy, I might offer that man a job. We could use a smart fellow like that at the camp.
You don't know when to give up, do you?
The one who has the upper hand does as he pleases. Boy.
True. Only you don't have the upper hand.
You're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Willing.
You fucked up there!
Take that! You're dead.
Ow!
Yeah, clear on that. Quick, free to go.
Next!
Cross me again, and I won't be too merciful next time. You made a mistake being on the wrong side of me.
Ow!
Is that the best you do?
Enough.
Hey, Timmy. How are you today?
I'm all right. Have we met?
We have now.
Huh? Oh, shit. What do you want? It wasn't me. I didn't... I mean... Shit.
I saw what you did at Neuhof.
What are you talking about? You weren't there. I mean, I wasn't there.
Don't waste your breath. You were there with Limpy Lubosh and Riki. I heard all about it.
What do you want from me?
Your mate Hinnock told me about a whole camp full of those horse huns. And I want to find it. I need to...
Yeah, you might be one of them.
Listen here, blockhead. I don't have all day for this. Tell me what I want to know so I don't have to hurt you.
No, please. I don't know nothing. Almost nothing. I don't know where their camp is.
That's a load of horse shit. Hinnock told me you were there, and that Pius warned you to keep your mouth shut. You must know something.
Well, once I was there with them, yeah. Only, I was pretty drunk, so I'm not too sure.
Try to remember.
It was in the woods. In some kind of woods. You know, with trees and stuff. There were some wrecked houses there and all. In the woods. A church! There was a church there. Kind of a broken one, though.
Oh, great. Thanks a lot. Now it's all clear to me. Do you remember which way you went?
It was straight north from Talmberg. When you go uphill from the castle, there's a path there round some barns, I think. It leads to the woodcutters' camp. If you go further on past the woodcutters, you come across this abandoned house. Can't miss it. Looks like a house, only abandoned. Go to the left there and carry on till you come to this clearing with a big beech tree. Or was it an oak? You go left there again. There's this narrow path and you go straight along there. Sometimes it splits up. You just keep to the left until you come to a crossroads by this big flat rock. You keep straight on there. After a while, you'll see a bridge. And it's right there. Easy as you please.
Better than nothing, I suppose.
But you won't tell nobody about Neuhof, right? You promised. Oh no, bugger. I meant to make you promise, but I forgot.
No, don't worry. But in future, find some other way to make money. Like honest work?
Thanks. I'll try. On account of my sister, at least.
That girl at the windmill?
Hi, Mirka. Did you talk to her? What did she say?
She told me you're as thick as a fence post and always getting dragged into some mischief.
Did she? Yeah, she's probably right. Hey. Watch it. Folks these days.
Stay away from people if you can't ride a horse, you moron!
Hey, watch it, lout. Jesus, look where you're going.
What do you want?
About that encamp...
What is it? Good work, lad.
I don't know much.
We really need to find out more. And if you could carry out some sabotage...
Certainly, sir.
That's what I like. You'll be our eyes and...
I'll find out what I... bridge. That'll make it easier to cross the earthworks. There's open ground on both sides of it, but it's the fastest route for an attack. A moat. It would take a while to get across, and there's nowhere to shelter from arrows.
Zanyag! Itt! Te azonnal fordulj meg és potrodj! Különben forró jársz! Semmi keresni valódi! Pusztulj! Hé! Ki van ott? Van ott valaki? Who's there? What's that? Megúr!
No csak, no csak!
Ez betalál! A pics! Na, bassza meg! Rossz helyen vagy, rossz időben.
Beszarás. És pont mikor kedvem lenne valaki.
Itt fogsz nekem pityegni. Hey, mi van, csak nem fáj? What's that? Who are you? Hey, who's there? Someone there? What's going on there? Hey, who's there? What's that? Hey, who's there? Who's there? Mother of God! Take that!
Good ground for a big fight, but not much cover.
Nem vagy képes többre? Ha!
Hé, mit csinálsz ott? Csak ne!
Boy! Mellé!
A szarva!
Picsába vele!
Na bassza meg! Nej, det är Irland. Up där en fishy.
En biro csokáig.
Au! A stockade. A handful of men could hold it for quite a while. Look at that. Those heathens are a lot tidier than the bandits. I'd like to see you try shooting these now.
What's going on?
fewer arrows you have, the better for us. The secret is in the spices.
No curva. Take that. Hey, no.
Hey, who's there?
They can see a long way from that steeple, and those archers up there, definitely going to be a problem.
What's the matter? Ow! Oh, you're dead. Oh. Hey, all of you, gather here! Raise the alarm! Rick!
Hey! All of you, gather here! Raise the alarm! Over here! Where is everyone? Quick! Hey! All of you, gather here! Raise the alarm! Raise the alarm!
What a stinking shithole. I wouldn't want to live. I'd like to see you try shooting these now. Well, you won't be shooting these arrows. recipe. Enjoy your meal.
Low fast.
Na bassza meg!
What do you want?
I'm back from scouting, sir.
Excellent. What have you found out?
There's an overgrown, ruined village in the woods where they're dug in.
That sounds like Pribyslavitz. It used to belong to Sir Divish before Havelmedic attacked and torched it, and then imprisoned Divish. It's been left abandoned ever since. I was hoping they wouldn't be so organized. Earthworks and fortifications. That's quite a different matter from routing some rabble out of the woods.
I tried to count them.
And how many of them are there? Every man that comes with...
There's a lot of them.
Christ. We'll have to gather armed forces from the whole region to defeat them. Even if it means leaving towns and villages up.
It's mostly bandits in the camp. They're not villagers with pitchforks, but not regular soldiers either.
No more than I expected. I have no fear of them.
There aren't just bandits in the camp.
Humans, you say? Where the hell did they come from?
I took a look at their arms and armor.
What about our...
There's a few of them, and
I don't like...
they're up to something in the middle of the camp.
Ladders? On the other hand...
That's about all I saw.
That's all right.
I managed to destroy some of their...
Well done.
I managed to slip...
You're as cunning...
That's all, sir.
Don't worry, Henry. I need you to go to Sir Divish and tell him to say...
You can rely on me, sir.
Tell Sir Robard...
All right, I'll get...
And be quick.
God bless you. What troubles you?
Sir Radzig sent me with an important...
He needs more...
The bandits and humans have set up camp in Pribyslavit.
Hang on.
I managed to track down the camp of... I don't know what they're up to, but...
So it's worse than I thought.
Sir Radzig said to take all...
What?
We've no choice, sir. Sir Radzig is leaving his camp almost empty as well. He even said you should send word...
All right, then. Would you lead my men?
Yes, sir.
May God be with you in battle.
Sir Radzig.
I'm glad to see you, Captain Robart. I hope Henry's explained everything to you.
He did, but I find it hard to believe. Who could possibly put together such a significant military force, and right under our noses?
We'll just have to find out, but I don't think we will until after a battle. If we don't deal with them now, who knows what they'll be capable of in a week or two.
I agree entirely, my lord. What's the plan?
Right, lad. We're almost at the place you described. Now we'll have to advance cautiously. I need you to tell me how it looks around the camp so I can decide which side to lead the attack from.
Sir, that's a big responsibility. I don't think I should...
I asked you a question, boy. You've been there and seen everything, so speak up.
There are 3 ways to get in. Directly along the straight path to the camp, the long way round through the woods and over an old weir, or by a narrow bridge over a deep ditch.
Let's start with the direct route. That sounds like the easiest approach. How does it look there?
That path leads round their battlements. It's fortified and patrolled. The chances are they'd shower us with arrows on the way.
It's a good thing you're here, Henry. We'll have to try another way then. What about the approach through the woods and the weir? I don't like the idea of marching such a long way over rough ground, but if it's the better option...
It's a long way through the woods, and there are patrols there as well. They'll call the alarm before we reach the camp.
I thought so. What about the last approach, over the bridge? It's a bit narrow for my liking.
It's narrow, all right, but once we get over, we can quickly occupy the best ground for a battle. We only have to take down a few archers.
The battleground sounds inviting, but that bridge and the archers, it's not an easy decision. Each option has its pros and cons.
I try to answer to the best of my ability, sir.
And you'll be suitably rewarded for your efforts. From what you say, the route over the bridge is the best option. If we're fast, we'll have the advantage. With the help of God, we'll win this day. We'll approach from the south and storm them over the bridge. Form up. Forward march. Advance! To the bridge, quickly! Get to the other side, as many of you as possible! Hold your position there! Some of you take the left flank, the back in 2 places at once! Arrow! Shield overhead! Halt! Stop where you are! Hold your ground! Defend!
Move that wagon! All right, man. The way's clear. Up and at them. Oh, here! Deal with those archers before we're all shot. You buster up. Advance! Now to take the main camp. Get ready, men. This will be the toughest fight. Advance! Let's get out of here! Stop where you are! Bring it battering ram and smash down that gate!
Stick together and hold the line. Hold your ground.
Forward! Up! Hold your ground! Listen! Stand your ground, you dogs! Drive them back!
I will cleave you in two, you bastard.
I tried before. And yet here I am.
What? Who the hell are you?
You don't remember me? I remember you, though. Now, where's my fucking sword?
What the fuck are you on about? What's... Hang on. You're the... Fuck me. I thought we left you to the crows. Tough little fucker, eh?
What did you do with my sword?
Judging by our last encounter, I'd say you made a big mistake coming here.
Where's my fucking sword?
But then again, maybe you've had some practice. I hope so. Because last time was too easy. Oh, bad for a peasant brat.
It's not over yet, you scum. Now, where's my sword? What have you done with it? Talk, you bastard!
I'll see you in hell.
Tell me, do you hear me? Tell me what you've done with it!
I'd say you're flogging a dead horse there.
You took him down. On your own. Well done. Nice work. You surprised me. He was a mountain of a man.
He was the one who attacked Neuhoff. And stole your sword, sir.
The thought did cross my mind. What did he tell you? If we'd taken him alive, the executioner might have gotten more out of him. Oh well, these things happen in the heat of battle. Anyway, we found a trunk full of coin down below. Someone was paying this gang very well. And there were some of Sigismund's barbarians among them. I don't think we've seen the last of this. Whoever engineered it was highly placed. They won't give up after one defeat. This louse was just a pawn.
I'm afraid you're right, sir. Well, lad, we live to fight another day, eh? That's the fear leaving you, lad. Let it go. Now, put it all behind you. A decent Christian shouldn't dwell on such horrors.
I beg to differ, sir. I never want to forget this. The time has come for those whoresons to pay for what they did to us.
You're right, my boy. But first, we all need some rest. We'll meet later in the upper castle in Rattay and then decide what to do next. But come what may, you did a good job today.
I will make you pay for this. It's time for the next part of our plan. Give the word.
Yes, sir.